Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, it is way later than I anticipated, but I thought I had to go to a volleyball game tonight, and it turns out I don't. So, here I am, out with the dogs, making them happy, getting them run because they got kind of locked away again today. Because nails took me way longer than I anticipated, and it's a busy nail week, and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, moving on. Um, you know what? I think this video should be about forgiveness. What does that actually mean to everybody? There's a question. For so long, I thought about forgiveness as just something people said. Did I really think that, you can say you forgive somebody? What does that mean? It's words. What does it mean to actually forgive? I think it takes a strong person to forgive. I think forgiveness is about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes that you can understand how a mistake could be made. I hope that's nowhere near here. I can hear drill. With the amount of rain that we've gotten, you'd think the water, I'd say about 5-6 years ago, was up. Water went right up to them rocks right there. And I feel like we've gotten a shit ton of fucking rain this year, man. It is ridiculous. And yet the water level is dropped, I think, since I've been out here last. Dude, I don't know why I carried this freaking coffee mug with me. I should go put it up in the car. Anyway. I don't know where to go with the whole forgiveness subject because I think it takes a strong person to say, hey, I can understand. Because for a long time, I felt like I needed to forgive my ex-husband for cheating on me. Because he did it more than once. And that sucked. But he did it more than once because I forgave him. More than once. But do I truly believe once a cheater, always a cheater? No. No. I think that this, contrary to what I thought years ago, I had it in my head I was the innocent little bystander. I did no wrong. The only thing that I didn't do is cheat back. The marriage was not a good marriage. And, you know, until recently, I had a guy, I think he's working up to asking me out, and I probably blew it with the comment that I made, but he asked me if I was married, and I really didn't even, it did not register with me that he was looking to ask me out on a date, because I actually do think the guy is actually worth my time. I laughed and said, no, I'm not married. And I said, I kind of laughed and I said, I can't hold a relationship together. And when I heard those words come out of my mouth, and it is not the first time that I've said that, but this time when I heard those words come out of my mouth, my thought process was, why should I have to hold a relationship together? Why should that fall solely on me? His response was, why? Are you mean? Of course, I'm not going to say I'm mean. Oh, what kind of dumb question that was. But I do expect the relationship to be 50-50. But when I look at the relationships around me, how many of them are 50-50? Because I have people in my life, women, that honestly, I don't think they get treated much better than the family dog. And maybe the family dog gets treated better. You know, it's almost like as women we're expected to be seen and not heard. And I don't even understand, because it's bullshit. You know, in my relationship experiences, I'm the one paying the bills. I'm the one paying the bills. I'm the one maintaining everything. I'm doing all the cooking, all the cleaning. What are they doing? And then I am also the gold digger. I don't know how that's fucking possible. I had one that worked in all them years, and you know what? That was not 50-50 either. Because there was no way he was putting in his half into our life. I was the one holding everything together, and that is the reason why the relationship came to an end. Because one person can't do it by themselves. And I don't know how these women stay in these relationships where they are. I can think of two of them right off the top of my head that if they weren't if they weren't submitting to their husbands, wanting them to cower in a corner, and I don't mean by physical abuse, they're not being hit. What they're made to feel like is that their opinion doesn't matter, their needs don't matter, and who the hell wants to be treated that way? I know I don't, and I'm not putting up with it, and that's why I kick fucking men out. Get the fuck out of here, man. Because I'll be goddamned if I'm going to be paying the bills and be told what to do. Or have my needs be put to the wayside. Hell with you. I don't need anybody in my life that badly. And I've wasted a lot of fucking time on men that deserve to be put in a doghouse. And I know I'm guilty of saying men, but you know what? There are plenty of men in this world that respect their women and put them on the pedestal that they're women to belong on. And I'm not talking showering with gifts. It's showing them the same, their wives or significant others, the same respect that they'd show anybody. It is amazing to me how many women will just let a man make them feel like they're nothing. I am not nothing. And I'm not going to get treated that way. I've had enough of it. Strong as I sound, I want everybody to look at the color. I feel like look at all the dead leaves just right in front of me here. I feel like there's way more dead. It is early yet in the season of changing. And what I see is these leaves are dying. There's color out here. But really, like, that tree has got all brown spots on it. It's only a matter of a day or two and they're all just going to fall on the ground because they're just dead. And I think it's all the fucking moisture sitting in the air. And in the ground, nothing ever gets a chance to. It's just a wet, kind of miserable season. And I think it's going to affect the colors because they are dying off and falling off. Like all of this, that's all dead. You can't see it. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. But it's all got brown spots on it. Now the ferns they do that in the fall, but all these other trees shouldn't be this brown looking. Look at the mix of color in that tree alone. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. How lucky am I to be able to be out here? I didn't mean to flip the camera around, but here I am. Because look at the sun coming through the trees. Just gonna check this out. The dogs were fucking around over here. I'm like, it is just so pretty. So, and this is Vandercook Lake out here. For those that want to know. I drove, and then I started walking further. I drove this far in because I wanted to make sure there was no people up here to make our freaking little walk here miserable. But it is warm. I think it's still it must be about 80 degrees out here. And it, honestly, usually it's cooler out here. And it's really not. Yesterday when I came out here, I could have wore at least a long sleeve shirt. And today I'm in a tank and I'm comfortable. Not hot, but I'm comfortable. And I am going to say this on camera, maybe it burns a hole in my brain. Because my brother-in-law's name is Jeremy, and my sister's name is Rhonda. So everybody knows. But Jeremy and I had the conversation about the filming and the fact that I could start this camera at the flat angle and maybe I would have a full screen picture, which I think he's right. But when I start taping, it is so much easier to hold the camera like this. I'd really like, look at this. I'd really like to buy a video camera is what I'd like to do, but you know, I don't make that much money anymore. And the home repairs are coming first right now because that's just life, and I'm a responsible adult. I also think that in a different microphone, because I'd like to buy a camera with a microphone. I think that would make a difference on, well, it can. How could it not make a difference? It's going to make some kind of difference. But I just can't afford it right this minute. So I wait. And, you know, really, this camera ain't bad because this is no cheap phone that I have. Anywho, I started this about forgiveness. Not that my ex-husband is the only one that I have to forgive, because I have my bones to pick with other people that I still feel like I harbor a lot of resentment towards. I shouldn't say a lot of people. It's not a lot of people. One in particular. And I don't know. I don't know about the forgiveness from afar thing, because I'm not even positive she even realizes that I have a bone to pick with her. Perking their ears up, and that always makes me suspicious. Is there a person up here? I think they'd already be barking. But I have a hard time trying to understand why. But I guess we were a lot younger. Maybe she didn't think it was that big a deal if she told. Sure blew up in my face. And you know, nobody cared. Nobody cared that. I feel like it fucked with my little family, and it's something between Mariah and me and a former friend of mine that I don't think, speaking of narcissistic people, she's one of them. And anyway, that is what it is. Walk the shoreline because I kind of like to get a picture or two over here. Look at the frog. See the frog down here? Where is it? God damn it, I can't see it in the dang. There he is. See him? Hey! What are you rolling in? Hi again. That's what I wanted. Oh, there's another frog. And I guess that's just something I gotta work on. Work in progress. Or maybe I already did forgive. There goes a fishy. Kind of surprised at that. I guess another thing I would like to talk about, I know my sister's struggling a little bit, and that is meditation. I use an app called Insight Timer. And my best advice to anybody is look for a monk. There goes some bass. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that. They're not bad sized. I wish I could, I don't know, I can't see into the camera with my glasses on. I don't know if you guys can see that fish. Damn it, I can't see it. I can't see it. Now the dogs are here. I can't believe that fish is hanging around. Them acting fools. I don't know how much I should talk about this or how much. You know what? I'm just going to do it. So, what I would suggest, there is a monk on TED Talks. TED. TED Talks are little talks, 15, 20 minutes, that people put on about really real life experiences. Brene Brown and her talk on vulnerability is a very good talk. And there's a monk on there that does a talk on meditation and anxiety. There's one that does one on anxiety as well. Wow, there's some big size. Hey! Some big size bass in here right now. Holy shit. I don't know if you can see that in the freaking camera. It's hard to tell when I'm out here. But they're hanging right here. There's another thing. Mike talks about fishing, but he doesn't actually do any of it. Anyway, The whole point of meditation is your mind is going to wander. It's going to wander. That's human. It's normal. Anxiety's normal to a certain extent. Then there's anxiety brought on by PTSD. And you know, as much as I am a miss anti-pill person, because I am, I don't believe that depression or anxiety medications were meant to be a long-term solution to life's problems. But they certainly were meant to be a temporary solution. They are to help you get past trauma. And that might take a while. Unfortunately, sleep is going to be elusive. Waking up with panic attacks are a part of the equation. And a bad motorcycle accident and fighting for your life, that's trauma with a capital T. And your body is pent up a lot of energy trying to deal with that. And that energy is going to go somewhere. And what meditation does is helps your mind deal with it. That's how I feel about it. But when you first start doing it, it's going to be, your mind's going to go. And you're going to have to learn how to bring your mind back. Concentrate on your breathing and your mind's going to go. You bring your mind back. But you know what? You keep on with it. Do short little meditations, minute, 2 minutes. I only do, the max is 20 for me. I don't feel the need to be in hour-long meditations. But, you know, everybody's got their personal preference on how much they think they need. Hey! To conquer. And all you can do is do what you think you need. But I can guarantee it will help. But the meds will help. Because, you know I make shit look effortless at times. I know how I am, but my life is not effortless. I wouldn't be on here doing these tapes if it was. This is me working through shit. But journaling, I just don't like to sit and write. I get more frustrated with my freaking... Hey! Don't you start! Moon? I don't like journaling. I feel like my frustration just gets more frustrating. I like being boisterous, loud with my voice. That's all energy. Yoga is dispensing energy. And I recommend it. It's a good way to get your mind under control. Start with beginners. You can get it all on YouTube for free. Hey, don't... Oh my God, what is there? Quit! Alright. These dogs are dirty. Probably stinky at this point. I don't know what the hell is laying here. But I think I've handed out enough advice. Trust me, Brene Brown, TED Talks, TED on YouTube. They got talks for everything under the sun. Monks do good talks. I know they're choppy and hard to follow sometimes. But man, they can explain things really well, I feel like. And use Insight Timer. You should be able to do it all for free. And then make your choice on if you want to spend more money on, options. But that is my advice. And like I said, I'm going to wrap up my advice giving for today. So, this is Jen from Jen's House of Zen, wishing everybody to be kind to each other. And I am doing the best with what I have been given. Everybody have a great day. Signing off.